Hello and welcome back to another tutorial from the Paint Couture creative team. My name is Latasha from Renaissance Refinishing, and I'm going to show you how I use this old piece of decor I had lying around in my booth and turn it into a Christmas time buffalo check piece of decor. It was really simple. I first chose our main color, which is going to be red velvet, and I decided to use a trick that I've used before, which is taking their primer, their 2-in-1 primer, and mixing it in with the color. I feel like it just improves the intensity of the color. This is not recommended, but you can tint your primer, so I kind of think of it in that manner. Anyways, I went ahead and put that all over the piece of wood, making sure there was an even amount of primer and paint. And then I decided to go back on with a deeper coat of just the paint, adding a little bit of primer where I could still see the lettering coming through. As you can see, it gives you great coverage. I used their Extreme Guard in satin to go ahead and seal our piece. And I just grabbed some regular old masking tape, as you can see here. I'm going to use it to create the buffalo check design that you saw in the beginning. It's really easy. I'm just going to use the edge that's there as the first point and then a piece of tape as a guide, just matching it up as we go. If you've seen my other videos, I do employ lines quite a lot. So if you need a better tutorial, you can look forward to one of those other Paint Couture creative tutorials from us. Anyhow, I just go ahead and do the entire block in this manner. And then I seal over the tape in every direction. So if there is any leakage, it's the primer, the clear primer that's there. I then went ahead and grabbed our main red velvet and a little bit of their pitch black. I'm going to create a custom color for that next color in the buffalo check. I would recommend adding more red, and I noticed that was a little deeper, but I went with it anyways. A little bit more red because it's going to dry darker. It still worked out, but go ahead and cover the entire piece and then remove the tape. As you can see, the lines are nice and crisp, and that is from priming the piece with the sealer before painting. And then I went ahead and went over that part with the sealer again and placed the tape going horizontally along the entirety of the block, moving that guide down because this is a longer distance. And voila, first stripe. And then I just repeated that process all the way across the board. And you can see it's a pretty easy process. You just want to take your time to get the tape as lined up as straight as possible. And it doesn't have to be perfect. The human eye is not going to detect it. And once again, their Extreme Guard in satin to go ahead and seal over the tape. All right, now that that's all done, I went ahead and took that color again that we created and went over the taped areas once more. I did repeat the process twice just to make sure that there was nothing peeking through, that it's a solid foundation. This is a pretty easy project, and once again, we went ahead and removed the tape. It is so satisfying to watch. It's literally my favorite part. I hate taping it, but I love taking the tape off. If you do this, you will understand, I promise. So yep, go ahead and remove all of the tape from the piece. And you should see a gridded area such as this one. And it will all make sense very soon. Let's go ahead and seal off this part again. And it's time once again for our tape. We're going to tape over all of the red boxes. All of the red little squares will get covered in each direction, horizontally and vertically. This is how I found it to be the easiest, but you do it however you feel fit for yourself. Again, it's a very easy project. And then here comes the extreme guard once again, so that we can seal off the tape and make sure that we get very nice crisp little boxes. That gives the distinct buffalo check look. So we used our pitch black, we went directly over the tape. And this again is Paint Couture's mineral paint. Covered up all the checks, and we went and repeated this twice. And our favorite part, we're removing the tape from both directions, and we're left with that very distinct buffalo check design, as you can see. And we're going to bust out that extreme guard in satin once again and go ahead and go over the entire board. And you can see those black checks kind of pop out. I grabbed a Merry Christmas stencil that I had lying around, and I placed that in the middle with a little bit of spray adhesive. Using their Pacific Pearl paint by Paint Couture, I went ahead and used a roller and placed it over the stencil. Again, I had no idea what I was going to do. I knew I wanted to do a buffalo check design, and then I just kind of grabbed what was lying around, and this is what we ended up with, and I love it. It was very cute. Once the design was completely covered in our paint mixture, I pulled it up, and this is what I was left with. Grabbed a little paintbrush, added some adhesive, and painted it over our design. Added just a little bit of glitter. Shook off the excess glitter and decided I really like the way that looked. Let's go ahead and put it all over the rest of our piece. That's exactly what we did. As you can see here, it was very easy. And I feel like it was really impactful. I really like the sparkle and the contrast. And here you are. This is what you're left with. I decided just to grab a little bow that was nearby, threw some glue on it, and placed it in the upper corner. And look at that sparkle. I absolutely love it. It's so cute. It turned out really, really adorable. I can't wait to use it on my mantle. Let me know what you guys think and leave your comments and share. Thank you so much. Be sure to follow for all of our other Paint Couture creatives and have a wonderful day. And happy holidays.